On this week's weekly video fishing forecast, we give you some insights for fishing down in Florida. I'm heading down to the west coast of Florida to test out some new lures and gulp from Berkeley. And also from Florida, John Skinner shows off the 3 lures that you need to fish in Florida waters with. And we have a few reports from our correspondents and the events in the near future, all here at thefisherman.com.
The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
Today is Thursday, January 5th, and here is the first weekly video fishing forecast of the new year. Let's start off with some upcoming events. On January 15th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. is the Striper Days show located at Ward Melville High School. That's 380 Old Town Road in Setauket, East Setauket, New York. The show is hosted by Surfcasters Journal and the Ward Melville Fishing Club. And the event will raise funds for the club's activities. At the event, there will be tackle shops, fishing equipment, plug builders, manufacturers, clubs, and organizations. We will also have a booth at the event. From the 25th to the 29th is the New York Boat Show at the Jacob K. Javits Convention Center in New York City. Open noon till 9 p.m. on weekdays, from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday. For more information, visit nyboatshow.com. On January 29th, also Super Bowl Sunday, so go check it out before the Super Bowl. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. is the Route 110 Fishing Flea Market located at Camelot Hall, 585 Broad Howell Road. Admission is $5. Children under 12 are free. For more information, call 917-312-0506.
It's the all-new Freeport Fishing and Boating Show, February 18th and 19th. Get your fishing and boating season started with over 50 exhibitors and seminars from pro anglers. Fun for the whole family. For more information and advanced ticket discounts, visit freeportfishingshow.com to be part of the fun.
At the end of the week, I'm headed south to Florida, and I have some tackle I'm looking forward to trying out. Let's show you what products I have. Hey, the folks down at Berkeley were kind enough to send me a nice care package right before the holidays. It's got some new stuff in it, and ironically, I got it just in time for my trip. I'm going down to Florida to go do some salt and freshwater fishing. A lot of the stuff in this box is actually saltwater stuff, but I think some of it could be used on the freshwater side as well. Probably going to try and catch some snook, sea trout, and I'm going to go for some largemouth bass too. Let's take a look at what they sent me. So they sent me this. It's a swimming plug. It's called the Cutter 90. Definitely a little snook, sea trout. Could use this for largemouth bass as well. It swims from 3 to 5 feet. It's suspending. It's 3.5 inches, and it's 3 1/8 ounces. I could definitely see myself using this down in Florida. Got a couple of those. This one, the Hit Stitch 120, a bigger profile lure. It is 4 3/4 inches, a 1/2 ounce, and it is floating. It's for 3 to 5 feet as well. Definitely good for those Florida waters. I could probably use this for some bigger largemouth. And if you guys have ever seen the Sebile swimming shad before, this is Berkeley's version. It's the Juke 100 in a small size like this. It's a swimming stick bait. It's 11/16 ounces, a little funny weight. 4 inches long, suspending, again, 3 to 5 foot range. These lures are all in about the same range in swimming depth. Another cool lure. Also, got some soft plastics. Gulp. Who doesn't love gulp? One of them. And if you guys ever fished in Florida before, you know that shrimp is a big bait. You're always going to get your live shrimp, but artificial shrimp is great as well. Berkeley sent me a bag of the mantis shrimp. It's the new penny chartreuse color. Throw these on a jig head. Excellent working on the flats, channels, wherever it may be. So great saltwater bait right here. And one other bait, which is the Crazy Legs Jerk Shad in new penny. Another saltwater and possible freshwater bait. It's a jerk bait, but it has a curly tail on the end. Gives a little bit more action. Can't wait to try these as well. They should work real good in Florida waters. One other lure that I saw here that might work very well on the flats in the early morning is called the Cane Walker 110. It's kind of like a little pencil popper, walk the dog kind of lure. It's 4.3 inches long. It's 3/4 of an ounce, so it gives you a little casting distance if you use the right setup. Going to work this on the flats in the early morning, maybe in the evening, see what I can come up with. Thanks again, Berkeley, for sending me this stuff. Really cool lures. I can't wait to try them out in Florida. Guys, stay tuned. I'm going to give you a full review after I put these in action in Florida waters. The most successful anglers can find fish no matter where they are, and John Skinner is considered one of the best. When he's not fishing the Northeast, you can find him in Southwest Florida. Here are his top 3 lures for fishing the backcountry of Florida.
Well, the first thing I would have is, if I could only have one lure, it would be a jerkbait on a swim bait hook. So this happens to be, and I use this a lot. This is a 1/8 ounce 3/0 jerkbait hook, and these are really easy. They've got a spring, so pretty much, and I can show this because it's quick enough to do. There's, you've got a spring, you've got a little bit of weight. I often use 1/16 of an ounce on the flat. That would be the most common one, and you just screw the front on, and then they all have a slot on the bottom. It's really important to hit that slot, come out like dead center of the top, and you want it to lay nice and flat like that. You don't want to have a bend in it or anything. Now, this happens to be a Zoom jerk shad. I often use, and pretty much most of what I use are the gulps. The problem with the gulps is that in some areas, the pinfish and the pufferfish, there's too many of them, and they'll destroy the gulp in that situation. So I'll use something like a Zoom, or Salt Strong makes good lures like this. Many companies make them, and so this would probably be number one. And what I like about this, it catches everything. I have caught tarpon on this particular Zoom, but snook, redfish, trout, all of them hit this. You can make it weedless. If you push it up, you bury that hook into the soft plastic, it just became weedless. You can skip this under mangroves because it will skip. So it's just got so many things going for it. Everything eats it. If I could only have one lure, that's it. That's the one. Okay, that said, another lure that gets not quite as much use, but pretty darn close, is pretty much any kind of a spook lure in this range of roughly 4 inches. This happens to be a Rebel jumping minnow. The most popular spook down here is the Super Spook Junior, the Hedden lure. I think it's about 3.5 inches. It's a little bit smaller. I happen to prefer the Rebel because it's a little bit bigger. It happens to plow through a chop a little better, hold its motion, and pretty much in both cases, in this case, what you're doing is working it with twitches where you get that darting action. This is a little bit similar where you're kind of, they call it a walk the dog motion, where you want to have that thing on the surface zigzagging back and forth. I've actually caught a tarpon on this, although it's not a typical tarpon lure, but snook, redfish, trout, they'll all hit this. It's a spectacular lure. Between these two, wow, I got to say, this might be 90% of the lures I'm going to throw down here are going to be spook or this. If you only have these two, you're really good to go. That said, sometimes you're going to be in situations where the water's a little bit deeper and you don't want to be using top water. Maybe it's the middle of the day and you're fishing deeper, and like deeper down here, I'm talking about 3 feet or 4 feet of water. That's deep because a lot of the fishing is done in less than 2 feet of water, especially on the flats with the redfish, with the jerk shads. 3 to 4 feet I actually consider to be fairly deep. This is, and it can be any lead head with a soft plastic. This is a Tsunami. I think this is a Z-Man lead head. And you could either have this or you could have a small bucktail. I often use the small bucktails and then tip that with either a gulp or some kind of a soft plastic. So that's really it. If you've got these three down here in Southwest Florida, I don't know what else you need. If somebody said this is all I could have, well, that's fine with me. Like I said, 90% of the time I'm between these two, and then the other 10%, I'm throwing a jig with a soft plastic or a bucktail with soft plastic on it.
If you're stuck up here in the cold, you can always hop on a head boat. These boats are sailing to King Cod and Santa Mauritius, Hampton Winnie and Shinnecock, Viking and Montauk, Laurel and Captree, Superhawk and Point Lookout, and Captain Lou in Freeport. Most boats sailing before the new year did put together great catches of sea bass before the season closed on the 31st. Now the targets will be cod, pollock, weakfish, ling, and bluefish. Some of the boats will also be targeting tilefish on the longer trips. Keep an eye on their schedules and tune in for the following weeks for more on that. And now you can also fish the freshwater now that the ice has melted off the ponds. Don't forget about the local tidal creeks for a shot at white perch also, or the occasional schoolie striper. Both Great River and Carmen's are solid options. Don't forget that this video is available as a podcast on iTunes and Google Podcasts. Search for the Fisherman Magazine podcast and subscribe, and you can listen to this broadcast and our other content. With our fly and freshwater report, we have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. Well, here I am. It's right after Christmas, and I'm out here at the Connetquot Park guiding today. It's raining, but hey, the fish are already wet. I'm guiding John. His girlfriend decided to give him a day of fishing for Christmas, and we're out here. I expect a banner day. The fishing's been really, really good. If we get photographs, definitely we'll post them. But right now, we're having a great time. It is a little cold, because of the rain. But hey, it's not too bad. Dress for the weather. Otherwise, most of the fishing reports I've been hearing is, you know what, the rivers upstate are a little high because of all the rain and the snow melt we had. We also have a problem with up in the Adirondacks. Actually, the Salmon River is just blown out because of all the snow melt. They had a tremendous amount of snow. Now it's melted. But next week it's supposed to get cold again. It's winter. It is what it is. What I'm doing, I'm spending my time at the fly tying bench. And if you like to learn how to do it, go to my website, River Bay Outfitters, and sign up for our classes. We're starting in a week. So until next week, tight lines, everybody.
From the Rockaways, we have Chris Landry. Chris.
Thanks, Matt. Well, after starting 2023 with a striper skunk in Brooklyn, New York City, I came down to Miami to see what I could do down here. And today I went out and I went on the reward charters, and it was a tough day until we went to the tuna grounds and we were high-speed jigging. I caught a blackfin tuna, a small one. I caught a bonito. I also caught a much bigger blackfin tuna that got sharked. It was rip and drag for a long time. And then you could feel when the shark hit, and there's a video of it when it happened, and it just started ripping drag until the line snapped. But it was super, super exciting. I'm gonna be back at it, and there's blackfin to be had. The high-speed jigging seems to be the best way. 200-gram jigs dropping down deep, like 400, 500 feet, and ripping it up and down as fast as you can on the way home and getting the strikes that way. All right, reporting live from Miami. Back to you, Matt.
Our new correspondent checks in, David Rogers. Dave.
Thanks, Matt. Let's get into it. The herring fishing remains to be spotty in the Western Sound, but hopefully larger schools show up soon. Fishing in the salt isn't getting any better, but freshwater remains to be a good alternative in the winter months. This week I tried out a spot hidden in plain sight, the lake in Manhattan's Central Park. The lake holds a variety of species, such as catfish, bluegill, crappie, and carp. It's a great option for those still looking for some action in the winter. Just make sure the lake hasn't frozen over. On my recent trip to the park, we managed to pull up a beautiful carp using sweet corn on a 1/0 circle hook. For more in-depth videos of my trips to Central Park and all around New York, subscribe to Funky Fishing on YouTube. That's all for me, everyone. Stay safe and warm out there. Back to you, Matt.
Captain Mike Centry has the latest from the Staten Island area.
Thanks, Tim and Matt. Hope all is well. Well, guys, Mike Centry here from Anglers of Legend Sport Fishing Boat Works. Got some incredible news coming in from January. The bluefin bite in one of the Jersey canyons is pretty much phenomenal. In about 375 feet, 360 feet of water, chunking butterfish and sardines. My friend Logan on board the triple threat, captained by Jesse, scored a phenomenal bluefin. Recreational size, I believe it was 68 or 67 inches. Nice quality bluefin. As soon as they got there, within 15 minutes, they hooked up. And within 15 minutes of fighting, the fish was already on the deck, bled, and pretty much almost wrapped in ice. So the canyon temperature, water temperature was around 62, I believe it was 63, which is pretty decent for this time of year. Pretty much a crazy run. These bluefin should be a little bit further south right now, but they're staying out here, and it's incredible. Along with the striped bass, they're still being caught on the surf. I remember season's closed in the back bays and estuaries for striped bass till March 1st. And remember your regulations for bluefin tuna. a 73 and under for recreational, and a captain or head boat, charter, commercial, if you have your endorsements and licenses, 73 and above, one fish. So remember that, stay up to date. It's already January, renew your HMS permit, and God bless, tight lines, see you guys next week.
Lastly, we check in with Captain Ben Gilmour from Marina Pez Vela down in Costa Rica.
This is Ben Gilmour from Costa Rica. I got the Green family here from Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Welcome, guys, to Marina Pez Vela, Costa Rica.
Thanks for having us, Captain Ben. We did great. I mean, we caught 3 rooster fish, the fish of a lifetime. It was totally amazing. Top-notch captain, top-notch crew. I suggest you get down here at Jackpot Sport Fishing.
Absolutely amazing day, guys. We just caught 3 nice rooster fish, 3 snappers. The rooster fish bite's been good. The snook bite is good down here at the moment. Further offshore, there's lots and lots of marlin. I caught marlin 6 days out of 7 over the last week. The sailfish are moving in, and we got some mahi-mahi and tuna also. Hope to see you guys down here soon this winter. See you later from Costa Rica.
Remember to support our correspondents by visiting their websites and social media pages. Remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit on the bell to be notified when we post new content on YouTube. Remember to send in those photos to be featured on the broadcast this winter. We'll see you right here next week at thefisherman.com.